In this summary video of what we will learn in the upcoming lessons, we will understand the core concepts of the index and match functions. Let's start with the match function. It returns the position of the value in the selected range. We need to answer these three questions. We are looking for which value, in which range do we find it? Here we need to know that the range must be a single row or a single column. The last question is what type of search do we want? We have three search types. We type 0 for an exact match search. When we set the search type to 1, the data should be in ascending order. The match function checks if the value that we are looking for is greater than the value in the first cell of the range. If it's true, it goes to the next cell till it hits a value in the range that is greater than the value we are looking for. Then it comes back to the previous cell and returns the position of that cell. When we set the search type to -1, the data should be in descending order. The match function checks if the value that we are looking for is less than the value in the first cell of the range. If it's true, it goes to the next cell till it hits a value in the range that is less than the value we are looking for. Then it comes back to the previous cell and returns the position of that cell. As default, the match function returns the position of the first occurrence of the value in the selected range. Could we get all the positions of all the values that match the value we are looking for? Yes, we can. For example, we have a list of comments. Our mission is to extract only the comments that have questions. To achieve that, first we use the COUNTIF function. For the criterion parameter, we could use the wildcards to find the question mark symbol in the comments. The asterisk wildcard matches any number of characters. The question mark wildcard matches a single character. We use the tilde symbol before the question mark to indicate it's a question mark and it isn't a wildcard character. This pattern, the asterisk followed by tilde followed by a question mark, matches any row that contains question mark preceded by any number of characters. The range of the COUNTIF function starts and ends with the same cell. We look the start of the range, then copy the formula down. When the formula hits the first question, it returns 1, and when it's finds the second question, it returns 2, and so on. Now, to return the position of the row that contains a question, we use the match function and add the numbers returned by the COUNTIF function as an array. The match function range is the helper column where we've used the COUNTIF function. And finally, we surrounded the formula with the array formula function. In this way, we can get the numbers of the rows that contain questions. Now let's jump to the index function. It returns a value from a range if we provide the row and the column number in that range. For example, we need to find the quantity of the mango using the index function. First, we selected the range. The value that we are looking for is in the intersection between row 4 and column 3 of the selected range. Therefore, we type 4 for the row parameter and 3 for the column parameter. Despite the value being in row 21 and column 4 in our sheet, if we ignore the row of the column parameter the index function retains the entire range. If we provide only the row, the index function retains the entire row in the selected range. If we provide only the column number, the index function retains the entire column in the selected range. We can use this feature to filter the data horizontally or vertically. To get a correct result when we use the match function to provide the number of the row and column dynamically, we keep in mind that the range of the index and match functions should be in the same size. For example, if the index range size is 9 rows and 6 columns, and we use the match function to get the number of the row and another one to get the number of the column, the first match range size should be 9 rows and the second match range size should be 6 columns. One of the practical uses of the index function is to find the last row dynamically by using the index and count functions combination. And if we want to get a dynamic average of the last values we've got, we can achieve that by using the index and average functions combination. Thanks for watching. We've added the link to each lesson in the description, where you find a detailed explanation and more practical examples. Also, we provide a link to download a starting template for each one. And now, if you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to our channel, join our free Google Classroom, and we are happy and ready to help.